What's good, Masculine Pulse here. Share the love, share and subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, so we know that it's natural for a man to desire a woman. Okay, it's in us to want to pursue and so forth. I know there's a change these days because of what's going on in terms of male and female dynamic relationships, but it's in us, And the most unproductive thing a man can do when he's young is to pursue a woman because she's operating in her supercharged power. She got everything that she could use. She's in her prime, basically, most ones, okay? And a man he has his work cut out for him to make himself be the person that he needs to be a productive member of society and to be productive to himself. Because if you have a vision and you have a desire um, that you cannot attain because you don't have the money, then what good are you to yourself? So, based on that, a man has to cultivate discipline and routines. Now, the dealing with the female, you're not gonna have discipline or routine because she's operating in her prime. So she'll be nonchalant with you, back and forth. She gonna play games with you. And the last thing you need is to waste your time. She can afford to some extent because she's operating her prime. Just like a businessman can afford to take a few days off sometimes to have a lunch with the client because he's got money already. You don't. So it's important for you to establish a good discipline and routine. And in that time frame, you gotta be about that. Now I know that the culture deliberately, especially the black woman, they perpetuate sexuality so that you're all about trying to get some because it's all in your face. Love Chris Brown, but his music is all about sex. Love Usher, but his music is all about sex. Most of the R&B '90s, which the era which I grew up in, was more about that. So you kind of have to sidestep that stuff and just be on your purpose. I know I've said this before to some extent, but it's very, very important for you to be disciplined and routine. So now the sad part about that is most women, most modern women, the bad ones, the bad bees that women want to have, if they stepped into your life in that routine, your discipline and routine, which is what will give you results, they're going to be bored with you. They're going to leave you. Now, why would they do that? Because it lacks spontaneity. And initially, what you want to do is you want to create a consistency of routine. Kind of like a car. You drive it a few kilometers. I'm in Australia, we use kilometers. Drive a few kilometers. You got to change the oil, check everything. You got to have that routine. Your life has to have a certain routine about it. And that's what you obtain, what you need to obtain. Every business is about systems and logistics and planning and everything else. But however, there's a certain type of woman that most men yearn for, that the very routines that you got going on, she gonna get bored. She gonna come in, she like what you got going on because you got good discipline and routine, and then she gonna be like, why you so boring? Why you don't do that? Why don't you go out sometime? Because men were good at setting up routines and so forth. It's important for you to understand that should that occur, you gotta snip it off. You gotta cut that off because that's not good for you. As a man, you're born alone. You're born alone, and you're most likely gonna die alone. Don't let a woman determine your schedule and everything else, and don't give your life to a woman. Help, teach, whatever it is that you gotta do, and help out, and whatever it is you're doing with women. But you gotta have discipline and routines. These are the things that get things done. If you look at FedEx and Amazon, these guys got disciplines and routines. That's what they got going on. And unfortunately, dating people that want spontaneity, it means you won't have to forego your discipline and routine. And I'm telling you, as a young person, it's very important to get a rhythm of a discipline and routine because it takes a long time to actually be disciplined. Not everybody can. That's why not everybody's successful. So I just want to bring that word out to y'all. All right. Okay. Peace, love, and blessings.